What's up, fam? If you're a musician, influencer, or content creator, or just someone who wants to create dope-ass visuals without breaking the bank, then this video is for you. I'm gonna show you the power of green screen. If you're new here, it's nice to meet you. My name is AJ La Jolla. I'm a content creator and your friend that makes alternative R&B and hip-hop music. If you're returning, nice to see you again. And thank you for subscribing. So, as an independent artist, I gotta make my resources stretch. What better way to do that than green screen? I'm gonna show you behind the scenes of my process, the tools that I use to create these effects. Everything that I'm showing y'all today is stuff that I'm setting up for my upcoming mixtape that's dropping on February 21st called Xanadu. Now, if you're watching this video before February 21st, pre-save that shit right now. I'm gonna put it in the description below. If you're watching it after the 21st, then stream that shit. Tell your mama, tell your auntie, tell your friend, tell your cousins, tell everybody. But yes, a lot of what I'm gonna show you guys today in this tutorial is how I'm creating these visual worlds for Xanadu. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, you gotta make sure you have the right equipment. A lot of this stuff that I'm rattling off is stuff that I purchased from Amazon. You can easily find it. I'll put some links below in the description for you to check out. But these are the things that I generally use to film, take pictures with green screen. So number one, of course, you gotta get a green screen. That's first and foremost. Second, you want to have a stand to hang the green screen on, or at least a blank wall where you can tape and tack it. Third, you want to make sure you have good lighting. So I purchased this giant ass ring light from Amazon that serves as my primary lighting. And then I have an additional pair of lights on each side of the green screen, angled a certain way. I think it's a 45-degree angle, but I usually just kind of tweak it around to make sure that there isn't any shadows. When you have those shadows, it makes it hella hard later to edit it out. You want to try to limit shadows as best as you can, but also you want to make sure that you have the least amount of wrinkles as possible. So just make sure that green screen is like super tight. I like to use a pair of dumbbells at the bottom and really keep it set and flat. And then also at the top, I have like these little clips to put on the green screen. So I just put it on one end and I pull the hell out of the green screen on the other end and put the other clip there, just making sure that it's like stretched out. I just make sure it's nice and tight. Get your mind out of the gutter. Anyway, the fourth piece of equipment that you need is your iPhone. Yes, you can get a camera and all that, but like I said, I'm an independent artist on a budget. I gotta make my resources stretch, so I'm using my iPhone 16. It's got a good camera. I'm even filming this video on my iPhone. iPhones are powerful. And the next thing you want to have is a tripod or a stand to put your phone or camera on. So you don't want it attached to the ring light. That just is bad lighting. There are videos about lighting and how to properly do it. I'm not going to get into it. Trust me, you just want it separate so you can easily move around the camera. The ring light also came with a clicker, so it's easier to take videos and photos. Lastly, you definitely want to have video editing software. So for today's tutorial, I am going to show you how I do things in CapCut. I've used Premiere Pro before. I've used DaVinci. I'm not hating on them, but compared to CapCut, CapCut makes easy, all right? I can do what would take me an hour to do in Premiere Pro takes me 10 seconds to do in CapCut. I know right now in the United States, TikTok and CapCut, ByteDance, they're doing their thing with the US government. We might not have it a couple months from now, but be sure you download it. But yeah, you definitely want to have video editing software. I'm gonna be using CapCut for this. It makes it super easy. You'll see why in a few minutes. So we got the equipment, but before we start filming anything, we need to have a clear idea of our concept. I'm a huge mood board person. What I primarily use to get my thoughts organized is Pinterest. So I'm in Pinterest right now. I'm in one of my mood boards for my upcoming era of Xanadu. I'm really inspired by a lot of Afrofuturism artwork. I'm just in love with all the colors, all the contrast. I've been collecting different images, different ideas, so I can really make it my own and forming it into my brand. So once I kind of have an idea of worlds that I want to create, it's now time to look for media resources that I can edit on top of the green screen. So for me personally, in order to do that, I use the hell out of Envato. I'm not being paid for this, but Envato makes it so easy for me to find the resources that I need. So here's a quick snapshot of Envato. User face is super easy and intuitive to navigate. They have a ton of different resources. Each item that you download and use comes with a commercial license, so you don't have to worry about copyright and all that stuff. So this is how I organize my activities that I'm working on in collections. So it's super easy to add items to those collections and download. Now, granted, with Envato, you do have to pay a subscription. I think there's a monthly option, but I usually do yearly. It's not that crazy cost in the grand scheme of things. But if you are on a tight budget, I recommend using Pexels or Pixabay. They have a lot of great resources for you to use. A lot of different, like I said, videos and pictures as well. So keep those two in your pocket. I use them. They're great as well, but Envato is where it's at. So I like to make sure I am within frame. Again, it's just me filming this stuff. So we got to make sure that we are at least in the shot. You want to make sure that you have enough space around you to key out the green screen and create the world surrounding you. I usually try to do full body when I do these shots. To make things easier, I like to loop a specific section of my song for these quick 15-second shorts and reels for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And I like to do a bunch of takes. I like to film a bunch of content, keep that camera rolling, and then I take a pause just to kind of see what I was able to film and critique myself. I didn't like the way my arm looked over here, or my eyes were a little dead. I can kind of take those pointers and make it better for the next take. I just keep doing it over and over again. And remember, the goal is to get plenty of good footage. We want to have a lot that we can work with in editing, and we don't want to have to go back and refilm stuff. Let's just do it all at once while we got the green screen up. Now we got our footage. Now it's time to edit and make the magic happen. Like I said, I like to use CapCut. It's the easiest out of all the video editing softwares. This is why CapCut is the best, in my opinion. So I just imported all my materials into my workspace. Now I'm going in and smoothing out my skin and evening it. Super easy, click of a button. And see, this is where stuff gets real interesting. So I'm going to remove my background. I want to get rid of all that extra space outside of the green screen by clicking mask. I have rectangle selected, so I'm just making my adjustments here, making sure I get my area and stuff that I want to work with. Great. Now it's time to remove that green. So we're going to select remove background, select chroma key, make sure our color picker is on, and select the area that gets rid of most of the green. Once we have that, increase the intensity, and then I like to do feather edges and clean up edges to make sure my subject is smooth. So that's what I'm doing right there. Now it's time to add in our background. And once you start adding stuff in, just keep in mind, trust the process. It may not look all that great at first, but trust the process because lighting and effects are definitely your friend. So I'm putting all this together. I found these resources from Envato. Got this cool purple moon thing going on in the background and this door frame. And really right now I'm just using my imagination to create a world, create a moment. So I'm editing a bit. I'm taking this purple moon background, extending the length of the loop. To make the loop as seamless as possible, I'm just going to reverse it. So I click edit and reverse. Super easy, super simple. And it's done loading. It's a perfect loop right now. So the next thing I'm about to get into is lighting, and I feel like that's the most important aspect of all of this. Since my project is called Xanadu, which is a shade of green, I really want to play on greens. So I want to change that purple into green. And right now I'm realizing that I should have did that first instead of doing that copy paste reverse. So I changed the color doing the copy paste reverse again. I'm satisfied with that background. Next, it's time to make everything else sort of greenish. So that's what I'm doing with that door frame right now. And then after I finish up the door frame, I'll get into recoloring me for that shade of green. I also want to point out this relight feature that they have in CapCut, more so for the premium users. But again, it just adds a cool sort of effect to the whole vibe of it. So, FYI. And when it comes to recoloring your subject, just make sure that it matches your background, or at least blends into it a bit. So my best word of advice is just click around until it starts looking good. Just kind of go off of the feeling. So that is my recommendation. I wish it could be more prolific, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. It is what it is, and I like to be honest and simple with my shit. So now let's get into these effects. So I just clicked the effects tab, y'all see it. But there is a ton of stuff to choose from in CapCut. Like, it's just drag and drop. They make it super easy. As you can see, I'm doing a little drag and drop there. But for this video, I'm going to use tracking shot. It just gives a little bit of a dynamic flavor to the whole video, like someone is like actually filming it and it's kind of tilting and moving. So I like that, and I'm going to use it a bit for this tutorial video right now. And at this point, I'm pretty much done. Like, this took me a little over 5 minutes to do. It was easy with all of CapCut's AI and features and whatever they got going on in the background. I'm appreciative of it because it's a time saver. And so with all that being said, let me just show y'all what the final product looks like. I got a lot of properties all up in my biology, telling me I'ma get it twisted in mythology. Pardon me, if her daddy call me, she gon' follow me. Sanity, hanging by a string, like my middle name was Damocles. Step back, no apologies. Take my time, that is always my dichotomy. I'm so patient, which is why I'm never faltering. Look at those stones, get aloud, get please. And that's it, a breakdown of how I use green screen to create insane visuals on a budget. If you found this video helpful, drop a like, comment, and please subscribe. It means the world to me. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. Also, if you want to see the rest of these visuals come to life, please pre-save Xanadu. It means a lot. Stream it when it comes out February 21st, 2025. And yeah, let me know if you want me to do more of these tutorials. Happy to do so. And peace and happy creating. I love this. I'm just tired. But the show never stops. We're gonna look back at this when we have them Grammys, charting on Billboard and stuff. When we get to that point, we're gonna look back at these days. These days where we had to grind it out. You know, it's all gonna be worth it in the end.